Hello students, this video is third part of lesson 1 categories of computer and computer languages. In this video, we are going to discuss about different types of languages, their features, assembler, compiler and interpreter. Language is the medium of communication, and to communicate with computers, we need a common language. We call it computer languages. A language that computer can understand. Let us learn about computer languages. Types of computer languages. In order to communicate with each other, you need to know a language such as English, Hindi, Tamil, Bengali, German, and so on. However, a computer does not understand these languages. You need to communicate with the computer in a language that the computer understands. The languages that a computer can understand are divided into 4 categories. First and second generation languages, these are low-level languages. Third generation languages, these are high-level languages. Fourth generation languages. Fifth generation languages, these are the artificial intelligence languages. Low-level languages. Low-level languages are of two types. First, machine language. Second, assembly language. Earlier, the instructions given to a computer were in machine code, made up of zeros and ones, binary language. A set of ones and zeros like 111, 011, 01 have specific meaning to a computer. Programmers have to design their code and then transfer it to a computer by using a punch card, punch tape, or flicking switches. Learning machine language was very difficult and complicated and could be accomplished by the experts only. It was difficult to edit and update the code. It used specific processor feature and therefore could not be ported to other systems. The machine code was very fast and efficient when executed. Machine language is low-level language, and low-level language requires that programmers have detailed knowledge of how the computer works since he had to specify every detail of operation. Low-level languages. Machine language. A machine language is the most basic computer language. It is also known as the first programming language developed for computers. Each instruction is written in the form of zeros and ones. Instructions given in any other language are first converted into machine language so that the computer can understand. Features of machine language are: it is machine dependent. It is the only language which is directly understood by the computer. It is difficult to use as the programmer has to remember machine code. Assembly language. Coding a program in binary form was very difficult. To overcome the difficulties of writing machine code, assembly languages were developed in 1950s. These languages used symbolic codes called mnemonics to write any instructions. Mnemonic is a short name given to instructions. For example, sum for addition and sub for subtraction. The program written in assembly language has to be translated into machine language, and then only It can be executed by the computer. Assembler is the software program that translates assembly language into machine language. The program written in mnemonic codes is called source program. Low-level languages, assembly language. An assembly language has the same structure and set of commands as that of a machine language. However, it uses words based on the English alphabet in place of zeros and ones. Each computer has its own assembly language depending on its hardware. That is why program written in an assembly language for one type of computer will not run on another type of computer. Features of assembly language are: it is also machine dependent. It is easier to understand as compared to machine language. It is easy to locate errors. High-level language. High-level language use English words to give instructions to the computer. A software program called interpreter is used to translate high-level language into machine language that a computer can understand. Nowadays, normally programs are written in high-level languages. Some examples of high-level languages are Logo, Basic, C, C++, Java, Visual Basic, etc. Advantages of high-level languages. They are easier to learn than assembly language. The programs written in high-level language can be executed in any computer, unlike symbolic language programs. They are easier to maintain. They require less time to write. They provide better documentation. High-level languages or third-generation language. The low-level languages were computer-dependent. This led to the development of another set of computer languages that could run on any type of computer. These computer languages are called high-level languages. High-level languages are similar to human languages. They are easier to read and write. The first high-level language was designed in the 1950s. Some examples of HLL are C, C++, Formula Translation, also called Fortran, Basic, Java, etc. Features of high-level languages are: it is user-friendly, it uses English words and mathematical operators which are easier to learn, it has to be converted into machine language which is time-consuming. Fourth generation languages. The fourth generation language are modern high-level languages. 4GLs are designed to reduce the overall time, effort, and cost of software development. Some popular fourth generation languages are PL/SQL, FoxPro, Stata, Oracle, Visual Basic, JavaScript, Python, Perl, etc. Features of fourth generation languages are: it is machine independent, it is more user friendly as compared to third generation language, it has a very high speed of execution, it makes the programming easier. Fifth generation language. Artificial intelligence is the technique with which a machine made to think and take decisions like human beings. Fifth generation languages are still at experimental stage and are being developed for the future. Once developed, these languages will make the computer solve a given problem without a programmer. Robots are an example of systems working with artificial intelligence. In order to communicate with some other person, we need a common language so that both of the person can understand each other. If one person speaks Hindi and the other speaks English, then both of them cannot understand each other's language. Then how will they communicate with each other? They need an interpreter or translator who can interpret to both of them each other's language. Similarly, in case of computers and their users, a computer understands machine language, whereas humans understand human language. Computer cannot understand human language and humans cannot understand machine language. Then how do they communicate with each other? They need a translator or interpreter which converts human language into machine language and machine language into human language. Working of a translator. A translator is used to convert one form of language into other so that a computer understands the instructions it receives. A program written in a high-level language is called source code. Source code is sent to a translator that converts it into machine code. Machine code is the converted code that the computer can easily understand. Before the code is ready for execution, there is a process of checking errors. The programmers can remove any error that are detected in the source code. A program written in high-level language is called source code. Source code is sent to a translator and translator translates source code into machine code, which can be understood by the computer. Translator or language processor are of three types. First, assembler. An assembler is a translator that converts a program written in assembly language into machine code that a computer can understand. Second, compiler. It is a translator that converts user's program written in high-level language into a machine code that a computer can understand. It translates the entire program in one go. After the entire translation is complete, the errors are detected and removed. Third, interpreter. Interpreter performs the same task as compiler. Only difference is that the compiler converts machine code of the whole program at a time, whereas interpreter converts machine code line by line. It translates one line of a program at a time and reports the error once it is encountered. Now, on the basis of the topics discussed, here are some exercises mentioned for you. You are supposed to write these exercises in your notebook. Exercise A. First, write features of high-level language. Second, define assembler. Third, what is the use of translator? Fourth, what do you mean by source code? Fifth, Write 3 examples of 4th generation language. Exercise B. Fill in the blanks. First, the language that is directly understood by a computer is dash. Second, robots are the example of dash generation language. Third, interpreter translates source code program dash by dash. Fourth, machine language consists of 2 digits dash and dash. Fifth, machine language and assembly language are also called dash. Dear children, here we complete Lesson 1, Categories of Computer and Computer Languages. Thank you.